Okay, so let's go over a couple of things that I want to talk about. I look at multiple charts when it comes to the strategy. Okay, you can do that too if you want to, or you can look at one chart. It's up to you. It's probably good to look at multiple charts just to see, how you can trade that way because a lot of people like to trade one chart, and there's nothing wrong with that because I used to trade one market and I still will trade one market if I feel like I need to. All right. But right now, while I'm trading this strategy, I'm trading multiple markets because the 1 minute chart gives you a lot of entries and I can be very picky. So I can say, you know what, I don't want to trade that market today. I want to look at the Dow, or I want to look at NASDAQ, or crude oil, or gold. Okay. So there's nothing wrong with trading one market. But some people think that other markets are different. Okay, so they would say, "Oh, I never trade gold before, so I'm not used to gold." Guys, it's the same thing. It's the same thing as trading Nasdaq or the Dow. Okay, it's just that some markets are slower and some markets are faster. That's about it. Now, don't be scared to trade multiple markets, okay? Even if you don't trade multiple markets, what you can do is you can have multiple charts up, okay, while you're trading your one market, and just look at your multiple charts, okay? Just get used to looking at more than one chart. And, once you do that, it would basically train your brain to look at multiple charts. And then you can start to practice and say, you know what? Wow, this market right here looks good. Maybe I should take a trade on that market, right? Now, if you do trade multiple markets, at first, what you want to do is trade one market at a time. Okay. Right now, I probably trade maybe one or two markets at a time, or three markets. And when I say at a time, meaning that I have two trades going on at the same time. Okay, and that's what I mean. So you can look at, let's say I look at maybe like 4 or 5 markets right now. So I'm looking at Nasdaq, crude oil, US 30, I said Nasdaq already, and the Russell 2000, right? So that's around like 4 to 5 markets. So I'm looking at those markets. A lot of times you won't get any good signals right away. So usually one or two markets will pop off, and sometimes I only get one trade out of those 4 or 5 markets, and sometimes I'll get two trades at the same time. So if I'm in the Nasdaq, I might actually get a gold trade at the same time. So I'm managing two trades at once. If you're new to this, maybe you don't want to do that first. Okay, you probably just want to trade maybe just one market at a time. And then also, if you do trade two markets at once, please do not trade two markets that look the same. If you trade, let's say for example, the Euro USD and the British Pound USD, okay, and those markets look identical, they are moving, pretty much the same, both are going in the uptrend. You don't want to take a trade on Euro and a trade on the British Pound at the same time, because if one is a loser, the next one could be a loser too. All right. So gold usually doesn't move the same way as Nasdaq, so I don't mind having two trades at once. If I'm trading Nasdaq or gold at once, I don't care. Okay. A lot of times the Dow and the Nasdaq and the Russell 2000, they won't move the same. So sometimes I don't mind taking trades at the same time when I'm trading those markets. But if they're moving the same, then I probably won't take a trade at the same time. Okay. And another thing I forgot to tell you guys, when I'm trading multiple markets, I do have an extra screen on the side, so I can, see the other charts. So if you do have, extra money, and you could afford to buy another monitor or two, that could definitely help you out, especially when you're looking at multiple markets, right? Okay, guys. So another thing I want to talk about is when the market breaks the trend line and just goes straight down. I'm not too sure if I talked about that already in the video, but I'm gonna show you guys how I deal with it. Okay, so let's say that we have the 4 minute chart right here, and we have a nice little trend line break. So usually I want that first pullback and then take that trade. But if we don't get that, okay, and the market, it just the market just want to go straight down, okay, how would I play this? Number one, if it goes straight down, I don't really want to play it anymore. I'm just probably gonna look for another setup. Only reason or only way I would play this, okay, is if the market goes down, right, and it comes back to this area. But if it comes back, maybe with a correction, I will play that, okay? Or if it does something like this. Now, let's say that we have consolidation right here. It breaks it and it comes back to this consolidation. I would definitely play this move right here, right? So that's how I'm dealing with the market. If it breaks it a lot and this keeps going, because a lot of times we want the market to give us, the step pattern, okay? But if it doesn't, and it just gives us this, me personally, I'm either looking at another chart, or if it gives me a correction at right here or something like this. And right here, when I take this trade right here, guys, this right here doesn't have to be a correction. Okay, so this dot right here doesn't have to be a correction because we have orders right here that's holding up price. So even if prices go straight up into this right here, okay, most likely price will hold and then continue to go down. So I don't care about if this is a correction, but if we come back here, I want this to be correction because we moved so far away from that breakout. So if it does come back, I don't want, because if we have a V bottom, we can just go straight up like this and continue to go back up. I don't want that. So what I want is, if I want something, it would be a correction, okay? Or it could be something like this. If it goes straight up, right? Even if it goes straight up right here and it gives me a correction like this, right? I would take something like that and take it to the downside. All right. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is, guys, when you are using this 1 minute strategy, focus on the 4 minute or the 5 minute chart, okay? Don't just look at the 1 minute chart. When the market breaks that trend line, then you could down to that 1 minute chart so you can look for your entries. But overall, you look at the 4 minute and the 5 minute structure. Please make sure that you understand the structure of the market, because you can't just say, okay, the trend line break is here, let me just trade. No. Is it near resistance? Is it near support? Always look at the structure, guys, please. Just don't trade it just because you see a trend line, right? Now, trading 3 or 4 markets, I usually get more trades. So if I have more trades, I don't have to trade all the way to 1 p.m. or 2 p.m., okay? I can actually be done at 11 a.m. or 12 p.m., okay? Because when I was trading one market before, I used to trade all the way to like 1 p.m. or 1:30 p.m. Okay, but since I have more trades now, sometimes I'll be done around 11 a.m. Now, another thing I want to talk about is usually when I'm trading multiple markets, I'm only looking at 2 trades per market. So let's say I'm trading NASDAQ, I'm only looking to trade that market only 2 times in a day, because usually the market gives you maybe 2, maybe 3 high quality setups per day, okay? So I'm looking to take 2 trades per market, or sometimes 1 trade per market a day. Now, another thing I want to talk about, in the morning time, that the indices love to fake people out, okay? When the market opens. So the NASDAQ, the S&P 500, the Russell, the Dow, or any market that just basically opens at the morning. You have the New York open. The market likes to do fake outs, so be careful trading a trend line break right at the open, because it might not work, okay? Unless you have experience to the point where you say, okay, this looks good, but for the most part, just wait maybe 10 to 15 minutes before you take any type of trade. Okay, so that's pretty much it. This is real institutional trading right here, guys. All that stuff that you see online, it's okay, because you see a lot of people talk about institutional trading, taking out equal highs and all this stuff. That's all that is market structure. But this is real institutional trading right here, okay? This is how pros really trade. They are very flexible when they trade. When they get in the trade, when they exit, these guys are very flexible. And that's real trading. That's real professional trading right here, okay? So please don't take this for granted, because literally I can charge 1K and up just for information I'm giving you guys in this course. So please, please, please do not take this for granted. This information is very powerful. So make sure you look at this more than once. And yes, the 1 minute chart is very intense. So, you have to get used to it. But overall, you can definitely see a lot of patterns in the 1 minute chart. Okay. Now, let's say that you don't want to trade the 1 minute chart. Can you trade the 15-minute chart the same way, or the 5-minute chart the same way? Yes, you could. Let's say that you want to trade only the 5-minute chart. So your main chart would be the 15-minute chart. So we look for 15-minute breakouts. So let me show you guys an example right here. Okay, guys, so here's the example right here. We have the 15-minute chart. Okay, this is British pound right here, Forex. So what we have here, guys, is this trend line right here. Okay, so we have, let me move this up right here. So we have this trend line going up. Okay. And we're waiting for a price to either break this trend line, or we're waiting for price to continue to go back up. Now, notice how prices broke this trend line. So we're going to go to the 5-minute chart to catch that entry. Okay, so here's the breakout right here. Now, a couple ways you can do this. Notice that we have a consolidation going on right here before the breakout. Okay, now you could be aggressive. The reason why I would probably wait a little bit, because the market is still trending up. Okay. But this is not a bad trading opportunity. Notice how we are consolidating right here, right at that trend line break. Okay, the market is not going up. It can't go up. Notice how this candle tried to go higher right here, and it can't close above this candle. So either this short right here is a nice short, even though it's kind of aggressive, but I can see why you actually take the short, because it broke this. Price tried to go up multiple times, but it didn't go up. So this would be a nice entry right here. Or let's say that you didn't get in right here. You wanted to wait for more confirmation. You can actually get in at this breakout right here. Now, let's say that you didn't get in at all right here. Okay. The best thing to do is to wait for the market to break this trend line. So let's go back to that 15-minute chart. So notice how the market broke this trend line pretty good, right? With conviction right here to the downside. So that is a little bit more safer trade. But if you did get in right here, I definitely totally understand, because it's not, the market is weak right here. Now, it broke it with conviction. It came back. So remember what I told you guys. Every time you have consolidation right here, guys, that means that smart money was loading up. Okay, loading up, and then they finally released, right? And a lot of times they'll come back to this consolidation right here to grab some more orders, right? And this right here would be your safety net. And a lot of times you're going to put your stop loss above here. A lot of times it just won't come above here, okay? And it will drop. So me personally, as soon as the price dropped like this, as soon as it came back, I'm getting in right here, put my stop loss right here. I'm looking for this trade right here. Now, it came back, okay? It gave you another trade to the downside. So if I'm trading that 5-minute chart, okay, I'm looking at this right here. We definitely have a nice zone right here. Okay. And I would get in. So a couple of ways you can do that. As soon as you get into the zone right here, or as soon as you see this trend line breaks, and I'm looking for another trade. So you get a nice little 2 trades out of this move right here. And, overall, you got some good profits out of those trades right here. Okay. So that's how I would trade the higher time frames. It's literally the same way you trade in a 1-minute chart. Okay, you use the 15-minute chart for your main chart, and then you drill down to the 5-minute chart. And if you're swing trading, you can use the 4-hour chart for your main chart. And when you see a trend line break, and you go down and use the 1 hour to get in. Okay, so that's about it, guys. I'm gonna show you guys some trades that I took yesterday and day before yesterday. Right.